So usually I try not to add too much fuel to the fire, if you will, on situations like this. But as a player of Legends, as well as, of course, a content creator on it, I'm ready. And I just truly think it is time. The writing is literally on the wall. Like, at this point, if they don't give us this, I feel like they are trolling us so hard. And I know a lot of people have been wanting this character for quite some time, so much so that people were trying to figure out ways that they could have incorporated it in year 2. I didn't really see that, but some people did. However, I am absolutely here for it on year 3, and I want to talk about it today. But first, we do actually have a sponsor for a Legends video. Okay, so think of a game that has 1, millions of players, 2, content for any type of playstyle, and 3, absolutely gorgeous champions. Yes, you are correct. Raid Shadow Legends, and they are the sponsor of today's video. And they've introduced an entirely new playable faction in the game. The Shadowkin are shrouded in mystery, hailing from the farthest reaches of the eastern continent beyond the Brimstone Path. It's believed that they've been under the brutal heel of the demon spawn for the last several hundred years. Only in the past few months have they overthrown Sarath's yoke and revealed themselves to the other factions. Are they honorable? Yes. Evil? Not anymore. Are they good? Only time will tell. This faction is just getting started. Come meet the new arrivals in the game right now. And here they are actually in a game right now, in my game specifically. I think my favorite one though is Finchy. I think there's something about the blades here, just looks absolutely sick. And you also have Sachi here, which looks really dope as well. My current favorite thing about Raid are the dungeons. Right now I'm in a dungeon. It's a 3-tier process, essentially, to where you get to a final round that is this massive boss you see right here. And dungeons give you a ton of great loot that help you progress your champions. And on top of all of that, Raid has an auto mode. And I know I'm not the only one who has a busy life and that sometimes needs to throw their game on auto. And I love it. Raid has just passed their 2-year anniversary, and the game is bigger and better than ever before. Seriously, they've just had a month and a half of awesome events and tournaments, and there's no sign of them slowing down yet. This month, they're releasing a new batch of epic and legendary champions, which look amazing, and even more are coming up in the future. Raid also just released their second rotation of the Doom Tower. This means that new rewards and new gear to win to customize your champions, but also 2 brutal-looking bosses to take on, the Celestial Griffin and the Eternal Dragon. With all these updates and all the new content dropping right now is the absolute best time to dive into Raid. So to get a huge head start right now in Raid Shadow Legends, either click the link in the description or just scan the QR code on the screen. And if you're a new player, you'll get a free epic champion, the Jotun, who's amazing for the Doom Tower, 100,000 silver, 50 gems, and 3 ancient shards, so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in game. Also, you'll find all your extra rewards right here in your inbox for the next 30 days only. And that's it. It's that easy. Dive into Raid Shadow Legends today. And again, another huge shout out to Raid for sponsoring this video. And of course, the character we're talking about is the thumbnail. You already know, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And I just have to give a massive shout out right now to Levi, aka Throw Jam, for this incredible art. If it ends up even looking half as good as this art, then GG's is all I'm saying. But let's go ahead and let's dive into this stuff and actually take a look at this. So obviously, if they had just released the Super Saiyan 4 Goku alone, I still would have been like, okay, they're trying to build up the GT tag. They're getting things ready for a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta drop for sure. But of course, he's not the only one. And actually in this video, I actually talked about the fact that there's no way they're not building up this GT tag and setting this up to drop us a Gogeta. And at this point, with so much writing on the wall, if for some reason Toshi and the development team over there for Legends do not drop a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, they are just trolling us to build up this tag with things like this Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and of course the Zenkai Awakenings for Android 17 and the Zenkai Awakening for the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Even though this Vegeta doesn't directly actually give the Zenkai boost to GT characters, unless of course they are Vegeta family as well, that, you know, was probably just to kind of bring some form of balance to the tag itself, because my guess is that if you guys remember Vegito Blue last year when he launched and everyone freaking out about him, I can only imagine a year later what an LF Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta will look like. So just, yeah, I'm sure it's to some extent they need to balance the tag a little bit. And so giving the Zenkai to Vegeta, you know, bringing his stats up to his Zenkai level and things like that is probably a way to balance that. Especially since Super 17 Zenkai was actually really good. And honestly, most of the Zenkais recently, they've been more of a balanced effect, bringing these characters more into like the balanced version within the meta, and not so much like meta defining and breaking, like say, I don't know, Father Son Kamehameha Gohan. If you guys weren't around for last year, they doing the 3 of these things right here a month and a half actually right now barely a month away from the beginning of the year 3 celebration. It's just literally, like I said, it will be truly trolling us to not release it. So last year, if we take a look at what happened right before the anniversary, we of course got this Legends Power Fusion, but right before that, we actually got one of the Legends Rising banners, this right here, which had Vegito, which this actually launched at the end of March. So they started trying to build up the fusion tag because it was a little lackluster, of course. And they started trying to do that via the release of this yellow Super Vegito. And then followed that up with this right here, a step up banner bringing us both Gotenks and Kefla. So last year the writing was on the wall as well. And then of course they introduced the Fusion Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. Now, outside of SJ4 Gogeta, obviously I think this year they're going to be doing a dual LF release, just like they did for New Year's and the holiday celebrations with the Gogeta and the Broly. I think obviously the LF Frieza and Piccolo that released last spring were just kind of like testing the waters to see how people would feel about a dual LF. And I definitely think they're going to be bringing this back for the anniversary. And that kind of works out almost perfectly because Dokkan also does a dual Dokkan Fest LR each year, one for the anniversary and one for the worldwide celebration, which happens in September, and they're roughly 6 months apart. And so if they, for the anniversary, do a dual LF on Legends, and then for holidays do another dual LF, that gives us about 6 months in between two dual LF banners. Now, at some point, we probably will get Ultras as summonables as well, and so that could probably maybe shake up this sort of pattern that they're maybe building here, but hopefully we won't have to think about that for at least some time, because even Toshi said those take a few months alone just to develop. So we should, based on what he said, not be getting any summonable Ultras for some time. So hopefully that stays true and we don't see that for a minute. So yes, I am presuming that we're going to be getting dual LF. Now, the thing is they have also been building up the future tag. Now, I don't know how much you can look into that. That was not quite as concrete as I would say the buildup for GT here is, but it would not surprise me if they did go ahead and drop like an LF merge Zamasu. I've seen some people already, spouting out things like LF UI or something like that, actual like master form of UI. I don't think that it's time for that. I really don't. I think that they're probably going to save that maybe for this holiday season. I just don't see them dropping both Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and an LF UI. Those are two massive trump cards for releases of potential, top grossing in the App Store, and to drop those at the exact same time, I don't know, man. That seems like a little too much, if you ask me. And the last thing I'll say before we wrap up this video, there could be a pretty good argument for why these characters were released. Both of them could technically buff, say, a full power Jiren, which I definitely think he is an LR in Dokkan, and I definitely think he could be a dual LF sort of banner defining unit. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I think he could be. And both of these units would technically buff him because the hit is a rival universe Z ability buff, and then also he buffs God Key. So the fact that these two right here could technically be ran on a team together on the bench, or with a, let's say, I don't know, full power Jiren and buff Jiren, then that could also be a potential sort of lead into that as well. So they obviously have a lot of options going into this. We are still missing several hype characters from both Super and GT, but I do think that you're looking at probably very similar to last year, how last year's banners were, of course, related to both GT and Super. I think that's what you'll be seeing again this year. So probably an LF with representation from Super and an LF of representation from GT, as well as some supporting casts. I really would like to see an SSJ3 Kid Goku. I think that'd be a fantastic unit for them to drop to give GT another buff. Because I don't think they're done buffing the GT tag. I think we will definitely, obviously, see, just like last year, the introduction of 2 side characters on the banners, because assuming that we do get dual LF, we'll actually have the introduction of 6 totally brand new Sparkings that will all be very, very good. Because like this Trunks and Zamasu, like they're still really good, but especially at the launch of these banners right here, they were very, very good. GT's tag, these are Omega and for sure. I really like this green full power SJ4 Goku. Both of them are really good as well, but I don't think they were quite as like defining as these two units. It's just because the GT tag has been a little lackluster pretty much since it's like inception, right? And so I think that that's why they're giving this so many Zenkais and potentially giving it an LF Gogeta. I think that will change a lot. And also, you know, there is the potential for them to pull out another fusion, but I don't really see them doing that. I don't know. I think that'd be almost too much, because I do think that the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is going to be crazy. So yeah, we're going to see the introduction of potentially 6 new characters at the beginning of June, end of May. So get ready. Another shout out to Strojam for that absolutely beautiful thumbnail that he created. And also a huge shout out to Raid for sponsoring today's Legends video. If you guys haven't downloaded Raid, click the link in the description or scan this QR code that's in front of my face right now to download it today and check it out for yourselves. Thank you, Raid, for the sponsor. But that is today's video. Have a great day. Keep on keeping on. If I don't see you before the actual anniversary, best of luck on your Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta summons, because, again, if he doesn't drop, Toasty's just trolling us at this point. Y'all have a great day, though. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.